Welcome all to
Ladies and
Subplot
gentlemen,
FNAF
boys and
Theories,
girls,
where we pick
Fazbear
theories
Entertainment
on
would
Five
like you
Nights
to
at
put your
Freddy's
hands
and
together
gaming
for the
franchise
one,
in total.
the only
So
Freddy
get ready, divers.
Fazbear.
Let's submerge. So what today we're going to be talking about is basically everything in total about the Mimic before Seek of the Mimic releases. So we're going to go look through all the evidence and just some theories and look over some of the videos that they've released and just see what we can make out of that for a video before Seek of the Mimic comes out, which I will be streaming. But anyways, let's start from the beginning. Let's start looking at the book. So what the book starts off with was a guy named Edwin Murray. He makes normal, simple machines for boring tasks. But then his wife dies, becoming a single parent. He struggles to keep his company afloat and raising a child. So he makes a mimic that can mimic people mimic people until mimic people. Eventually, his child goes onto the highway, killing him. Then the mimic goes up to Edwin, asking for ice cream, the same way Edwin's child did. Truthfully, I forget what it is, but anyway, that's not really important at all. But as we continue, really, this sends Edwin Murray into a spiraling rage, teaching the mimic how to kill people, how to be violent. Then Fazbear team sends a couple technicians. The mimic kills them. They send more technicians again, and gets killed. Then we'll just stop there. And then that's what we think Seek of the Mimic is gonna kick off. We're gonna be the final round of technicians. And by the end of this game, I'm willing to think that we're going to have the Mimic, or we're gonna get the Mimic and give it to Fazbear. I'd rather think that's gonna be the true ending, or even if there is a true ending to this game. The reason I mean if it is a true ending, because in Help Wanted 2, nobody knows which ending is really canon. Some people think it's like this Burn Trap ending, some people it's the Vanny ending, some people think it's both, but we really don't know, so that's gonna be very important if we figure out what ending it is. What else? About the Mimic, so we have like the 3 VHS tapes, which I think that we've gotten all of them. But one thing about them is, Edwin Murray in this game, in the game universe, is what we currently think he is. Instead of making the mimic for his child, he made it for his company, and maybe instead of and or these VHS tapes are showing what machines he used to put into to make the mimic, because the latte sees and mimic and knows what you want. The coat hanger can adjust its size. The vacuum can change its size to fit into small and big places. Then the musical mushrooms can mimic what you hear, and they could speak or mimic you in total. So those are, I think, they could play in showing two things: that he used those things to put and made the mimic, or he used the mimic to make those products. Because in this game reality, it seems like that the mimic he was using the mimic, or Edwin's costume manor, what it is called in the game, is a very bigger company. And because as you can see, they have multiple buyers there, because we got a little sheet from them earlier in the teasers. But anyway, as we continue, Edwin Murray seems like he's playing a really big role. He seems like he's he's giving ideas for the rest of it. I find what Steel Wool and Scott Cawthon are doing for this whole game is the fixing any plot holes they had in the first 6 games. And they're adding some elements to make the newer games seem better. And these newer games, I find that it's more grounded. I feel like that's what Scott Cawthon was asking for, having more grounded series. This more grounded series, like no more spiritual possessed stuff. It's like no more spiritually animatronic. It's now like AI, and it's like programming. It's all more of a grounded franchise currently. But anyways, back on the Mimic. I think the Mimic is an incredible villain, and I think this whole game is gonna be like really good because it seems like Steelwool is putting a lot more effort into it with like they're making it more compact, claustrophobic, and they're actually releasing it in flat mode instead of VR. Even though VR seems pretty cool, I think flat mode will actually be way more popular because everyone on Steam will be able to play it and not just people who have VR headsets. So that would be quite interesting if I do say myself. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the quality of the game. I just talked about it, but in the Docker and Steelwool interview that just happened, you should go watch the video if you haven't. They have mentioned that the whole game but is gonna fit into Roxy Raceway from referencing it from Security Breach. This is pretty cool, but one thing I don't think they're cleverly not mentioning is how tall it is. So I know Security Breach is incredibly tall because somehow it has like 9 floors or something, but I find they're really improving the quality and focusing a lot more on these compact spaces. Next, one of the things I'm really hoping for about this is there better be a lot of lore. This is one of the biggest games of the franchise. And if you're excited for this game, you should watch me live playing Seek of the Mimic on this Thursday, 10 MSD time. It will be an amazing time. We'll be hanging out. You should come watch with me. We'll be playing until we get all true endings, or I have to leave. It's one or the other. Probably have to leave. I'm literally skipping everything for this live stream, so you better be there. We'll be playing some games. Actually, I might do a live stream sooner or later, making a bingo sheet for Secret of the Mimic. I better see you there, because I want to hit that bingo if you are ready for it. About the game again, about the Security Breach, it seems like the whole building is infested with the Mimic. Like, it's fully filled with the Mimic. Every system is the Mimic. I find we're going to see a very similar thing in Seek of the Mimic. Because if you see all these machines that we've seen from Edwin Murray are just literally the Mimic. Because we have the Helper, which is an iteration of the Mimic, and we have this one image we got on Daco's charity stream from earlier this week. But like, it's the Mimic, it's Mimic. It's all just Mimic. So it's really showing that the Mimic is a very important thing. With the Mimic being everywhere, I wonder what's going to be the finale of the Mimic. Like, we're very much far away from the end of the Mimic story, but when is there going to be an end? Because the past 2 games we got after Ruin were about either a prequel or just something off the topic of it. So I would like to hear in the comments of what you guys think the next game is going to be about. Is it going to be about Cassie and her getting out of the elevator, or something along the lines of that? Because overall, I think that would be a pretty cool thing to see of Cassie getting out, and we could just be playing as a whole new character. Is there anything else? I'm just gonna keep on talking so I can fill out the more time on this video, get extra views and stuff. But you guys better subscribe. My parents said I wouldn't get more than 100 subscribers by the end of summer, so you better subscribe. Okay, is there really anything else to really talk about? Not really, so I'll be ready, divers, to submerge again. But see you later.